Hey, Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
And it's been a while. I'm George.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Coming at you again with special guest host George from Fragrance Apprentice. How are you doing, George?
I'm doing good. You know what I found out earlier today when I had a look back? We haven't done one of these for a whole year.
That blows my mind. You told me off camera, and I was amazed it's been that long.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you on. We'll have you on next year as well. And today we are reviewing Boss Bottled by Hugo Boss.
I've got my Hugo Boss shirt, so you know I'm ready.
Nice. You paid way too much for that shirt.
I go the extra mile for you, Daver. You know what I mean?
That's right. All right, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 1998. It's classified as a woody spicy. Notes are apple, citrus, pelargonium, cinnamon, cloves, sandalwood, vetiver, vanilla, and cedar.
I get about 4 of those, maybe.
All right, so George, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
I used to get a lot better, but now I'd get about 5 hours, maybe 5-6 hours at a push.
I get a little bit more. I get in the average range. I would say anywhere from 6 to 8.
Really?
So can't complain there. What about projection?
Projection's decent. You know, I'd say it's average. Like, people have noticed it. You know, when I was testing it and stuff, people did notice it, but that only lasted about 2 hours, and then, you know, it really kind of weakened on me. Yeah,
I would agree. I would say it's at its strongest, it's in the average range, and then after a few hours, it dies down. Season, I would say this is great for fall. I think this also works in spring, and I think this works day or night.
I'd say spring, fall, but you know something? I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball. I'd say summer nights.
Really? Okay.
Summer nights are really nice for this, yeah.
In purpose, I would say this is great for casual. I think this might also be good for work, and I would say this could work on a date if you're a girl. And we'll go into that in a minute. So, George, what does this remind you of?
It reminds me of, you know, like old school. I think my dad wore this. Like, so I got some old school memories. He wore a lot of fragrances, actually. You know, like father, like son, I guess. But yeah, this reminds me of a lot of Generation X's, I guess. And people sort of like in their 30s, 40s. When I was younger, a lot of older people would actually wear this one when it came out.
Yeah, this is really one of those rock star fragrances that was a big hit, especially early in the fragrance community. Yeah. I didn't realize it is as old as it is, almost 20 years old. I have never smelled this on any one person.
Right.
I've only ever smelled this wearing it myself.
Oh, really?
So it's never been popular in my part of the world. So I don't really know why. But this was a really popular, a darling in the community, especially around the time of Tim Sweatkoff and Cubby and Mark when he first started, a lot of that.
Yeah.
So whenever I smelled it for the first time, around that time the fragrance community started, I thought, it's okay. I didn't really like it that much.
Oh, no.
Smelling it again, really reviewing it and wearing it and testing it, I really grew an appreciation for this fragrance because I think it is really well made. Mm. As far as the scent goes, a lot of people say they get like an apple pie type of vibe, and I don't get that at all.
Get that.
I don't really even get much of an apple vibe.
I do get like a kind of a green apple thing. But
okay.
It's kind of like, I don't get like a dessert or a pie.
Yeah.
Or anything.
If it's an apple type of vibe, it's definitely not sweet. And there is kind of like a vanilla type of accord in there. Vanilla isn't a note that's listed officially, but I do really get kind of a vanilla feel in this. But really what I get is a very floral scent. And that is really what surprised me the most when I tested this. And I think it's a beautiful floral scent, like beautiful. And because of that, I really think that it works better on a woman. And whenever I smelled it, I was actually shocked at how feminine it smelled. And as a popular men's fragrance, to be such a darling so early on in the fragrance community, this is what really surprised me because it doesn't have a lot of those traditional masculine cues that a lot of masculine fragrances have. This to me has way more of a feminine feel to it. I don't really care. Like I would still wear it, but I would really, really like to smell this on my wife because I think it has a very really inviting appeal as a floral scent on a woman. It is very much a gender bender fragrance for a man.
Right.
So that's kind of a funny thing that this has gotten as popular as it has. But overall, I think it's a really, really well-made fragrance. It's still a very simple fragrance. Like you said, there's not many notes that I get in this. I only get kind of a few. And it's just kind of a really warm, waxy floral scent. I don't know if you had this in England, but when I was a kid, we had like this novelty candy called wax lips. Right. Or wax mustaches. You put it in your mouth and it has, you get big lips or a mustache. They were candies, but they tasted horrible. But they had a really appealing scent to it. And that type of scent, that waxy candy-like scent, is in this fragrance. Because of that, I really like and appreciate that aspect of it. It's a different type of sweetness, and the waxy quality really works well with the floral component of it. So I really like this fragrance a lot.
Wow.
You did not expect that. I guarantee that.
No, I don't. I think we like it, but for very different reasons. I get the apple. I get this sort of, like a vanilla, but it's almost like an amber. It's like a bright amber kind of scent. It's super casual, and it's one of the most versatile and non-offensive fragrances, but yet it doesn't. Like there's non-offensive. There's like Jimmy Choo Man, right? Or there's freaking I don't know, the Gucci fragrances, or whatever, and they can be non-offensive, but they also can be kind of bland. But this is one of the only fragrances, especially in the designer realm, where it's not offensive, but it has character. So interesting in that respect. And I think that's why it's quite loved, and it has the apple, or the like you said, it's not completely sweet. I'd say there's a bit of sweetness, but it's not in your face, kind of like apple, and the DKNY be delicious kind of deal,
right?
It's just like apples in your face, right? But it's a really well composited and well thought out fragrance, and if you're a collector, this should really be in your collection. This is an absolute bona fide classic because it does match the simplicity, the likability of a smell, but it also has a bit of an it factor where people do smell that and go, oh wow, man, what's that? That's lovely. So all round, it's a really great fragrance.
So what about compliments? Did you get many compliments when you wore this?
Yeah, and still, I had a couple people. I went out with a couple friends, and they were like, "Oh, that's really nice," and they didn't know it was They didn't know it was Boss Bottled. It's interesting in the respect of, even though it's old news, it's nearly 20 years old news. If you were to bring it out, if it came out today, like there'd never been Boss Bottled before, and Boss Bottled came out today, it would still be fantastic. I think it would still. Yeah,
totally agree. My wife likes this.
Yeah,
I will say that she likes it reluctantly. She goes back and forth. Some days she'll like, I like it. Well, it kind of smells girly. And so whenever she says that, I'm like, yeah, but would you wear it? Do you like it? So I don't know. She likes it. I didn't really get many compliments other than what she said, though. Bang for buck. This is a really good deal here in the States. You can get a 100 ml tester for about $27.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
And on Fragrance Net. And you can get just, if it's not a tester, you can get it for about $37.
What?
And I think it's a really great value here for your money. Now, final rating, what do you give this?
This has been the most difficult part of the review. Part of me wants to give it kind of classics. Well, it is a classic, and it kind of does everything that you want. But you know what? The thing that really lets it down is the projection and longevity. and it kind of does bother me a bit, because I want to be able to go out with this fragrance, spray it on in the morning, and go out throughout the day, because it's such a casual fragrance. So I'm going to mark it down for that. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 as well. I really like this scent. Like you said, this is really good, even today.
Yeah.
20 years old and barely shows a day of age. Conceptually, I think it's a great scent as well. Really well made. I think it's a fantastic, waxy, warm, floral scent that works better on women, but still works well on men. But overall, it's just such a nice fragrance, just a very pleasant fragrance.
Can we agree one of the best casual fragrances on the market today?
I don't know.
I would say that. Yeah, I would say one of the best casual men's fragrances available in the last 20 years, definitely.
So that's all we have. Let us know if you've tried Boss Bottle down in the comments down below. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. And I'll have links down below to George's channel where you can go check him out as well. Thank you again, George, for coming on. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. You too.
And we'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.